What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Sideline Sorcerers. We got to apologize, or I guess really I should apologize for the humongous hiatus. Started a new job and had some crazy wild hours. Didn't have as much time on the schedule to record the podcast episodes, but we're recovering some time, got a little bit more freedom back, so we're able to record an episode here just in time for the start of the NFL season. How you feeling over there, Rhett?
Dude, I feel good to be back. I mean, ever since they got you mining up on the moon, dude, the commute's just been
I
too girthy. So it's good
know.
that they got you grounded now for a couple weeks. But yeah, I'm very excited for college football and the pros, and feel like this is a nice little segue into the season, a little mock draft. And next week, obviously, we'll begin our week one predictions.
Yeah, it's perfect. Perfect way to ease into it. I'm sure a lot of people are doing fantasy drafts this coming weekend over Labor Day. And of course, we have the humongous Texas A&M Notre Dame game, which we're going to have to touch on a little bit later on. Just
Yeah,
for me personally, almost everyone here in Houston that I work with went to Texas A&M.
that's
Actually,
crazy.
yeah, you already know about the presentation that I had to give earlier today, but every person on my team actually went to Texas A&M. And of course, we're all introducing ourselves before the presentation starts.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, Texas A&M, A&M, A&M. Then we got Notre Dame. And so we make a little joke out of it too, saying like, yeah, we're all going to the game this weekend. So we'll see, who's kind of better in terms of our employee little battle. Just
Yeah.
funny little banter
That
before
is
the
kind of crazy
presentation.
that like everyone went down there because there's so many other schools, it's not
Yeah.
like I mean Rice and University of Houston are right
hmm
there.
I know. I know it is wild. It's kind of like almost analogous to how Notre Dame is like 100 miles from Chicago. Like A&M is like 100 miles from Houston. And
Yeah.
so it seems to be just one of the feeder schools to jobs in Houston.
Well, we all know they're superior. However, I am very concerned about the game. I mean, as in Notre Dame is superior, but I am very concerned about the game in terms of Notre
Don't,
Dame's chances.
no, come on now, dude. You got to lock in Notre Dame money line. And you're going to
Actually,
tell
I
me you're
have
going to
Texas
place a,
A&M money line locked
you're
in
going to,
because
yeah, it's the emotional hedge bet, but
yeah, dude, lots of money on A&M. I'm like, how much will allow me to still be happy if Notre Dame were to lose. Like, how much would I
yeah.
be willing to spend on a Notre Dame victory?
So what is that number? Or still to be
Currently,
determined?
yeah, I mean it's $100 right now,
Yeah,
but
but some
I would
more
have
guy
bet
might get sprinkled
more.
on.
Yeah, I would have done more had the line been better. It was once like minus 108. Now it's minus 146. So
Oh,
it's like,
they're
you know,
A&M's really
ugh,
becoming strong favorites
they
here.
are. They really are 2.5 to
Dang.
3 point favorites. So I mean, I
Wow.
don't think that's crazy. I mean, it's in A&M, which is an extremely difficult place to play, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna be there watching it. Very exciting. Either way, though, if we lose the game, Notre Dame still has a very good chance to make the playoffs. So that's the new
That's
era of
true.
college football we're in.
I know.
And
However,
and if we lose this year, we'll tag them back next year when they come up to South Bend.
yeah, that's true. I know Florida State lost to Georgia Tech over the weekend. Do you
Yes,
think that they're
dude.
pretty much like eliminated from the playoffs then?
I mean,
Or not?
technically not, no, but like Florida State's gonna be poo this year. I don't think
Yeah.
they're going to even finish within like the top
Mhm.
20. I think they could even lose again to Boston College on Monday. But the thing
I
is
got
about
you.
them, it's that like their quarterback is the same quarterback that Notre Dame has played multiple times now. I'm almost
hmm
worried that he's bound to get one back against Notre Dame. He's the one that we beat
Yeah.
when he was at Clemson. We beat him at
hmm
Clemson again. And even though he didn't play for Oregon State last year during the bowl game, it does still kind of feel like he's just been following us around, like just trying to get us back. So
Right.
we'll
Yeah, it's a
see.
little bit
I do think
concerning.
though the Georgia Tech game for Notre Dame is more difficult now. But
Really?
I actually had
Yeah.
said going into the season that the Georgia Tech game may be more challenging for Notre Dame than the Florida State game, not only because it's on the
hmm
road technically, but also because I just think Georgia Tech's a better team.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
it's certainly possible. I know that a lot of people from school are going back to South Bend for the Florida State game. I'm sure you're going to be there as well. But
100%. It's gonna be
yeah,
wild.
it definitely will be
Yeah.
wild. Probably isn't as exciting now though, knowing that Florida
No.
State isn't the team that everyone thought that they were
Yeah, I
going
mean,
to be.
honestly, the home games this year for Notre Dame aren't great. You look to
Hmm.
next year, you get Texas A&M, Boise State, and USC. Those are huge games.
Yeah,
This year, I mean, it's Louisville, Florida State, and that's kind of it, you know.
right.
Virginia, yeah, they're gonna be horrible. So,
Yeah, agreed.
but yeah, no, let's rip into the mock draft, eh?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. This is going to be my second fantasy draft so far. Did one fantasy draft with some of the people I work with, and I guess this will just be my first mock draft outside of that. Have you done any
Yeah.
drafts yet this year?
I did one for this dynasty league that I joined. So I
Hmm.
inherited some other guy's team and then we just had a rookie draft. So very different, very unusual. It was all like in person for me as well, which I have never really done
Yeah.
like I mean, I have done an in-person draft, but it was just
Hmm.
super a different type of vibe for sure, you know,
Got
but it
you.
was fun though. And I am so invested in fantasy football this year, and no one has
Yep.
asked for my buy-in yet. So I know the tab is coming, the bill is coming due. Plus, one guy like runs like three of the leagues I'm in. So I know like
Oh
one day he's
man,
just going to be like, hey, yeah, could you like send over that $700, please? I'm gonna be like, you
you're
know,
gonna get spooked. Yeah,
yeah, but
that's
I
a
know it's
brutal
coming.
Venmo request.
I'm prepared for it. I'm prepared.
Yeah. So your draft that was in person, was this one where you used the in-person draft board and went up and put all the stickers on the board,
Now,
or you still drafted like on the
we were still on
laptops?
our phones and laptops and
Okay.
all that, but like we had played golf earlier and we had dinner
Right.
there, and it was at the guy's.
Yeah.
He's the head pro of a golf course, and so we were the only
Hmm.
people in the restaurant. It was phenomenal. There was still like service in there, so we're drinking and eating and drafting and making trades and shit, and it was
That's
really fun
awesome.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a blast. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get right into it here. So we have just kind of assigned ourselves two picks, I guess semi randomly, but like not really. We just said like, I don't really want one of the first three. Like I'm just gonna put myself at the four, and then by symmetry, Rhett just decided he's gonna go at number nine. So the way that it works is it's just computers that are going to be drafting all the other picks. We're going to talk through some of the picks that they make, and then we're just going to talk through who we are going to pick in those spots as well.
Yep.
But yeah,
Nice
let's
and
just go ahead
symmetrical.
and yeah, I love the symmetry. All right, let's just go ahead and start it here. So pretty obvious first pick with McCaffrey. And now that we know CD got signed with his crazy contract, he's a number two pick. I know that in some drafts he was kind of falling a little bit lower than that just because people were starting to get worried that he wouldn't be signed. Other people have been taking Tyreek in front of him, but CD at two, still a good pick, and Tyreek at
Right.
three. So, what are your thoughts on all those?
Yeah, I mean, pretty standard there. I think those are good picks. I like
Hmm.
McCaffrey. Yeah, I mean, I think those are pretty undisputed, although I don't think CD's going to have as good of a year as he did last year. I think there's a few
Yeah.
guys here that'll actually be better than him.
Yep, I can agree with that. For me, at number four, I'm really high on Amon-Ra St. Brown this year. I think he's going to be great for the Lions, and I'm just a little bit concerned about, Justin Jefferson. He's not really as valuable to me personally when Kirk Cousins isn't the one throwing him the ball. I know that he still played well last year when he had other quarterbacks throwing to him, but it just it just doesn't feel the same to me. It feels more like a high risk, high reward kind of play. Jamar Chase is a little dependent on Joe Burrow being healthy. If he goes down, again, that's a risky play. I also don't love taking any other running back besides Bijan this early in the draft. And so uh, I think I misspoke there. I don't like taking any running back, not even Bijan, this early. So for that reason, I'm gonna go with Amon Ra here at four, a little bit higher than his average draft pick, but I still like the pick.
Yeah, I agree with that. I probably would have gone Jamar Chase there, but
Hmm.
understandable. I really would have liked to take Brees Hall at the pick where I'm at,
Yeah.
but obviously that's not going to be feasible. So I am
Hmm.
going to, what am I going to do here? I'm gonna go Jahmyr Gibbs. I think that a running back's necessary here. There's so much more wide receiver talent out there than there is the running back. So I
Hmm.
feel like I just want to nail that down, even if I might have overdrafted him a little bit. But
Yeah, no, it's a good pick. We both snagged Lions for our first round pick here. It's crazy how Jahmyr Gibbs has snuck up into the first round this year after, last year he
yeah,
was drafted quite a bit lower than that. And knowing that it's still a bit of a timeshare as well. I mean, granted, Jahmyr Gibbs has really established himself as the top back in that backfield. I still like the pick, but it's just crazy that he's up in the first round now.
yeah, no, I agree. Especially, yeah, I mean, he started the year off so slow last year. People
Yeah,
were considering him a bust already.
I
And then he
know.
broke out over the last like third of the season.
Hmm.
I almost want to
As
go running back again here, but I feel like I have to go with a wide receiver. So Puka it is.
That's a good pick. Yeah, I like taking Puka there. I think Cooper Kupp is going to have a really solid year though, because now teams are going to start
Yeah.
snagging or putting their best corner on Puka instead of Kupp, and so Kupp might have a little bit of a resurgence. Which,
Plus, he should be fully healthy now, whereas last year I feel like whenever he played, he wasn't fully healthy.
yeah, that's true. Um, okay, I'm a little bit surprised at some of these picks here. So we've got Derrick Henry and then Kyron Williams. Kyron Williams is a fantastic pick. Would have
Yeah.
loved to take him.
Yeah, that's
Um,
who I would have liked to take
yeah,
instead of Puka, but I had to
yeah,
snab a receiver.
fair enough. Josh Allen at round two, pick number seven, feels very early to me. I love
Yeah.
Josh Allen. I love taking him as early as I possibly can. I don't think I could take Josh Allen before like round three, pick number one. Like this feels like the spot where Josh Allen is in the feasible range, like the 95% confidence interval of where he can get drafted. This is a 5% tail end outlier, you know?
Team six must know something we don't.
Yeah, that's a little bit spooky. I definitely need a running back. However, I don't love the best options right here. Achan, he's a little bit fragile. I'm a little worried about injuries there. Josh
Dude.
Jacobs
Josh
is
Jacobs is the pick.
dude, I know, but I'm a little concerned about how he's gonna do on Green Bay, and AJ Dillon could still maybe hawk some carries from
No.
him.
AJ Dillon is poo. I'm done with him. I've seen enough of AJ Dillon.
Oh, okay. Out of these options, I will say that Devontae would definitely be my favorite option here.
Yeah.
If I wanted to go wide receiver, the strategy scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, I don't want to take Sam Laporta yet, especially since I already have a Ra. I don't generally like stacking up my team like that. So you're probably going to come after me for it, but I just can't bring myself to take Josh Jacobs right here. I'm going to go wide receiver here, and I'm going to take Devontae. Could end up screwing me over if Vegas is really poor this year, but it just had to be done. So there we
Yeah, I
go.
like Devontae. I like
Yeah, I
Devontae.
mean,
I think that's
still a
fine.
good pick. I like him a lot better than like Drake London, Chris Olave, Ayuk. I mean, those guys are solid, but I feel like Devontae is a tier above them, and he's getting drafted at the exact same time as all those other guys. All right. So after Devontae, we have Drake London, Olave, Ayuk, and team one takes Sam Laporta, team two, Achan, team three, Josh Jacobs. I'm going to take Pacheco here. I need a running
Yeah.
back, and I think Pacheco is still a really solid option. He's going to snag a lot of, I think he'll get a good amount of touchdowns for the
Yeah.
Chiefs, on a high-powered offense. So I am happy with that pick.
Yeah, that was a good play. I like that a lot for you.
Thank you.
This is an easy one for me. It's Nico Collins all the way.
Yeah. Well, we got to touch on some of these other ones that got drafted in the interim. So Lamar here, round three, pick number five, feels early for Lamar. Just
Hmm.
as a reference, I did a 14 team draft with the people I'm working with. Lamar
Yeah.
wasn't taken until the sixth round.
That's crazy, dude. What was the
I
first
mean,
quarterback? Was it
Josh
Josh?
Allen. It was Josh Allen in the third round. And then Jalen Hurts was also taken in the third,
Wow.
Mahomes in the fourth, and then no other QB until the sixth.
I mean, I do think at that spot you're getting a great value for Lamar, but here it's way too soon. I'm not taking a
Yeah.
quarterback till late. Like I remember last year I got Brock Purdy and Trevor Lawrence and they did me just
Hmm.
fine. I mean, Trevor wasn't
Yeah.
great, but they
Brock
as a
was.
combo did great for the whole
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So definitely snag Lamar in the sixth round if you can. It was actually crazy that he dropped that low. I honestly considered picking him for my own team and then like trading him away because getting Lamar that late is just incredible value. But anyways, afterwards, Mike Evans, Rashad White, DJ Moore, and then your pick, Nico Collins.
Yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer to me. And I think Nico's going to be phenomenal this year, number one
Hmm.
receiver. I don't think Stefan's really going to step on his toes that much. I don't think Tank Dell will either. I think he's going to have a better season than last year. I don't think their running game is going to be anything to write home about. So, very happy
Hmm.
with where I got Nico at. And like I said, I don't plan on really sniffing a quarterback for a while. So, passing
Yep.
on Patrick Mahomes, even though he was right there, really doesn't bother me at all. And yeah, I
Hmm.
mean, I think that after me, Stephon Diggs, Metcalf, Samuel, Pittman are all significantly worse options at the receiver position than
Hmm.
Nico.
Yeah, it's definitely a
Like,
solid pick. I'm like
yeah,
Houston has a very high powered offense this year, so definitely a great idea to put some draft stock in them. I love that play. The only My only concern is that they've got three really solid receivers. They've got Collins, they've got Tank Dell, and they've got
yeah.
Stephon Diggs. So it just worries me a little bit. Like, who is CJ Stroud going to favor the most? He might end up spreading the ball around, and that could dilute their point share a little bit. But if he ends up favoring Collins, this could be a humongous play.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible because I do think Tank Dell, I mean, he's just as good as anybody in the league. So
Yeah,
they do have
right.
really good options, but one of them's bound to get injured. And
Hmm.
I believe in Nico. I still think he's underrated, and I would have taken him over Mike
Yeah.
Evans there. I would have taken him
Oh,
over
I would too.
Marvin Harrison. I mean, he's a complete unknown.
Yeah, definitely a risky play for Marvin Harrison. Mike Evans feels way too early for him.
Yeah, he's
I
getting
mean,
old, man.
yeah, and he didn't even play like that well last year. He
No, I
wasn't all that
mean,
great.
we were clawing for 40 yards out of him in that one game against the Bills for that
I
parlay,
know.
bro.
Yeah, and that was like
So,
he had done that in like, 18 of his last like
yeah,
19 games or something. And then
that was
it's
a
like he,
sign of his
yeah,
decline already.
yeah, his deterioration evidently.
So, speaking of the Bills, this is another no-brainer pick. I'm glad at how easy this is making it on me. I think James
Hmm.
Cook, for me, here is where I need to go. Snag another
Yeah.
running back, especially one that can carry that momentum from the end of last year into this year. I think that they will want to run the ball more. I think they want to be a more balanced team, less dependent on Josh
Hmm.
Allen. So I think James Cook should be really solid this year. He's entering the prime of his career. Again, not sniffing a quarterback, so totally fine passing on Stroud. I feel like Waddle's become a little overrated. So, I mean, that might be a good pick for you at this point, or maybe a tight end. But yeah, I'm very content so far with my picks.
Yeah, no, I like the James Cook pick as well. If you hadn't already taken Puka, my pick definitely would have been Cup at that spot. I
Yeah,
mean, I love the value for Cup in the fourth round. He just he feels like he's going to have a resurgence this year as
yeah.
one of those top guys. I talked about it already. I just feel like
Hmm.
the defenders are going to start covering Puka. The best
Right.
cornerback is going to be covering him. So Cup, we've already seen him establish himself as a wide receiver one in the past. So having him fall down this far is, very valuable. That's what I would have liked to take here. CJ Stroud in the fourth feels pretty early to me. I think he should be falling down later. Then we also have Devontae Smith and Malik Neighbors. Yeah, Jalen Waddle, a little bit not as high on him. I don't know, he doesn't feel like he produces as much as he should. Like, I don't know, he
Yeah,
like
no, and he
Tyreek
was
seems
injured a
like he
lot.
just, yeah,
Yeah,
he's missed some
Waddle
games
pissed me
and
off last year. Like he caught like a 50-yard touchdown pass and then like did
mhm.
nothing the rest of the game. Like so if he didn't have some of those bigger, deeper catches, like he would have really
Yeah.
had some bare weeks, some very
Hmm.
scant point getting weeks. So I would not even take him where he's at right now. But yeah,
Nope.
the thought of taking Cup definitely crossed my mind, but I can't have two Rams
Yeah. You
receivers.
can't.
Or
It
maybe
it
I
wouldn't make
can.
sense. No,
I
it
will
wouldn't make
say
sense.
the w one year when I almost went undefeated, I won every game except for the first round of the playoffs. I had like four Eagles players, and that was the year they went to the
Hmm.
Super Bowl. I had Jalen, I had AJ Brown, Dallas Goddard, and I think Devontae Smith as well. I mean, it
That's
was
crazy.
fantastic. And it worked out because
Yeah.
they were just so good that year offensively.
Yeah, that's wild. I'm glad it worked out so nicely for you. I don't know that that will be the case with the Rams
Yeah,
this
no.
year. I think they're going to be a good team. We already did all of our picks past several weeks. I
Yeah.
think they'll be a good team. I don't know that they're going to, every player is going to put up a ton of points like that. Um, right here, not loving the tight end options. I just don't like taking a tight end at this point, specifically in the draft. I'm going to pass on Waddle, and I don't want Andrews or McBride.
I
I've
think
still got my
Kincaid
eye.
down there is not bad.
Yeah, Kincaid, it would actually be who I would pick out of these three, as crazy as that is. So I
Yeah.
picked Kincaid in my work league. I think I picked him in the fifth round.
Okay.
And I got him with a Josh Allen stack. So I was happy with that because I think that Allen's going to need someone to throw the ball to now. And I
Yeah.
feel like Kincaid is going to potentially be his guy. Um, other than Keon Coleman, who I know is getting a lot of hype. But I don't want Kincaid yet. Maybe if he falls later, I might snag him. I got my eye on a running back here. So there's Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, and Kenneth Walker. I actually love the Kenneth Walker pick.
Yeah.
Uh, Seattle, Seattle, I think, is going to feed him the ball a lot. Um, Alvin Kamara, not as high on him. Feels a little bit more risky to me. I think you would actually like the pick
I do
because
like that pick.
you're high on the Saints this year.
Yeah.
Um, I would actually take Kenneth over Alvin. However, I'm going to end up taking Joe Mixon here. So very,
Whoa.
dude,
That is wild.
Houston is going to be putting up a lot of points this year. They're going to be feeding Joe Mixon the ball, bro. Who like
Damn.
Damian Pierce was their top back last year, and now he's like Joe is going to be getting everything. Mixon is going to be the guy.
I just don't
So
like all the drama surrounding Joe Mixon, the fact that he's aging a little bit. That's why I would have gone with Kenneth
yeah,
Walker there. Even though I like the Saints, I like him a lot.
hmm,
Kamara's up there in age nowadays. So, but hey,
yeah.
looks like you can maybe snag Kincaid here. I mean,
And
Kittle though
that's
is
what I'm
there.
gonna do.
Shit.
I'm gonna be snagging Kincaid. I think he's gonna be the guy for Josh Allen this year.
Okay.
Um, but so yeah, I don't think yeah, Mixon is getting old. He's been the sort of the workhorse back for the Bengals for several years now, but I still think he's got gas left in the tank, and the Texans just have they've got the offense this year that's going to be putting up a lot of points. And yeah, they're going to rely on their wide receivers, but they also need to rely on their running back as well. And Mixon's going to be that guy. Damian Pierce is not going to be getting much action. Um, so yeah, after that we have Waddle, Kamara, Zay Flowers, Ken Walker, like the Ken Walker pick, Trey McBride, Tank Dell, and then I snagged Kincaid. Already talked about why I like him. I think in the fifth round, Kincaid is a solid pick, but I wouldn't take him earlier than that.
Three Houston wide receivers already gone before the end of the fifth round is kind of crazy. Like they're not going
I
to score
know
that many points to
exactly.
service all these players.
I know, dude. That's what I'm saying. Is like Stroud's gonna end up having to send the ball around. Like he's going to have to
Yeah.
spread the ball out a little bit. So each one of these guys are not going to be able to produce as highly as they're being drafted.
No, definitely not. But I like Amari Cooper here. Always slept on. But bro went
Yeah.
off last year toward the end of the season with Joe Flacco. I know it's not going to be Joe
Hmm.
anymore, but he went off. So I'm really loving that pick. And again, a player I would have taken over Pickens. I would have taken over Tank
Yep.
Dell, Michael Pittman, perhaps, Malik Neighbor, Jalen Waddle, Zay Flowers, just because, I mean, who else is number one wide receiver at Cleveland. I mean, it's Amari Cooper. So the fact
Yeah,
that like
it's
a wide
him.
receiver three of Houston's going before wide receiver one on Cleveland is kind of wild to me.
Yeah. He actually
But
is the one who saved me. You probably remember last year. He's the one who saved me in that game. He put up like 44 points.
yeah,
He allowed me to avoid the punishment from my league, escape the toilet bowl. Um,
yeah,
so I was super grateful to have Amari on my team then. And yeah, like you said, I would definitely be taking him over Pickens as well. Looks like Kittle and Andrews were also drafted here in the fifth round. So kind of just a round filled with tight ends. But yeah, I really like the Cooper pick. Think there's a lot of value there.
yeah. I mean, he saved me from my guillotine league execution. I would have gotten my
Mhm.
head chopped off had he not been
Yeah,
there for me. And I
there you
can't
go.
not pick Joe Burrow here. I mean, he is right there for the
Oh, he's your
taking.
guy
I
down in the
love him.
sixth.
I
That's
love him, and he's
nice.
right there. I feel like I got him at a good spot too. Like he was technically the next rated player up for me, and I feel
Yeah.
like although I wasn't hot on getting a quarterback soon, like I totally would have been fine waiting and waiting and taking like a
Hmm.
Brock Purdy down there a little bit more. But Joe
Yeah,
Burrow's just, I mean, he's got that dog in him. I feel like the law
he
of
does,
averages is
bro.
gonna kick in, and he'll bounce back from a season where he barely played.
Yeah, as long as he stays healthy, this is a fantastic pick, especially down in the sixth round. Really like that a lot. I also just want to touch on some of the people who were picked right before him. So we have Kyle Pitts, Anthony Richardson in the fifth. A lot of risk involved with him, but could definitely pay off. You got Aaron Jones at the end of the fifth. How do you feel about Aaron Jones this year, Rhett?
I'm a little concerned about Aaron Jones. I am
Hmm.
just very down on the Vikings as a whole. I feel like they're going to really struggle to run the ball and they're
Hmm.
going to fall behind in a lot of games, so they will be
And they'll be
often
throwing.
throwing the ball.
Yep.
I don't hate it. Like I don't hate where Jones is at, but like nah, man, I'm much higher on like the Josh Jacobs, like the flip side of
Yeah.
that. You know, he's now in Green
Agreed.
Bay. He's taking Aaron Jones' spot, new face
Yeah.
in the new place.
We also know
I
Aaron
mean,
Jones is liable to get injured. I mean, he's spent a
yeah,
lot of time
right. I mean,
out.
he was injured
So,
last year a lot. I
yep.
think that I'm just staying away from players on New England and Minnesota. I think they're like the worst teams
Hmm.
in the league. I think that's where I had them when we did our record predictions as
Yeah.
well.
Yep.
And it's not always going to be the same worst teams. Like, I don't think the Giants, the Cardinals, the
Hmm.
Broncos, the Titans, for example, are going to continue to be the worst teams in the league. So I think we're going to see
Hmm.
some teams kind of rotate and trickle around a little bit. And I think this year it's New England and Minnesota's turn to just suck.
Yeah. No, I can agree with that for sure. So after Jones, we got Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, and Terry McLaurin before your Burrow pick. Feels, about accurate for all three of those guys, honestly. Then after Burrow, we've got David Montgomery down in the sixth. So again, the kind of the timeshare situation with Jahmyr Gibbs. He stole a lot of goal line touches last year from Gibbs, so could be a nice value play down in the sixth. But I
Hmm.
feel like they're going to be, definitely prioritizing getting Gibbs the ball this year.
Yeah.
Then you got James Conner, Christian Kirk, Ramondre Stevenson, and now my pick here. It's calling my name. I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing here, but really like the Rashee Rice pick here in the back half of the sixth round. It's the Chiefs, other than Kelsey, it's the Chiefs' number one
Yeah.
wide receiver. And like you mentioned before, you've got three Houston Texans wide receivers that have been taken already. And this is
Hmm.
the first of the Chiefs wide receivers.
That's a
So,
fair point. It's a very good
yeah,
point.
I
I
mean,
just don't like all
and
the drama surrounding him with what happened off the field over the summer.
yeah, I know there was the accident or it was the drunk driving situation, I
I
think,
believe,
but
yeah, it had something to do with that.
yeah, I don't think it should have any long-term implications or necessarily impact this season too drastically.
Yeah, probably not. Probably should
All
be
right.
totally fine.
Yeah. All right. Evan Ingram next, Jacksonville's tight end. Then you have Najee Harris, Dak Prescott at the turn of the sixth round here. Rome Odunze for Chicago, Jaden Reed, and Tony Pollard here for Tennessee. Um, yeah, Tony Pollard down in the seventh is actually wild. I feel like he was like probably one of the second or like third backs taken last year in the draft. He was like definitely like the back half of the first round or the start of the second round
Yeah.
last year. And look how far he's fallen down to the seventh is crazy, especially knowing that he's still the top back in tennis. Well, I guess they've
Tajay
got
Spears is right there.
he's there, but I mean, yeah, I feel like Pollard should be the one who's going to be getting he's going to be the one getting the carries.
He should be, but if he performs as he kind of did in Dallas last year, they're gonna be trying to give it to the fresher, younger back in Tajay.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Okay. Um, Now I got to think here who I want to pick. I've already got two running backs, I have three wide receivers, and I've got a tight end already. Um, this one's kind of a bit of a brain twister for me. I don't really love the Godwin pick, and because I just took Rashee Rice, I don't want to take Xavier Worthy. Um, Kyler Murray, I don't want Kyler right now. Although I just realized I don't have a quarterback yet. I don't know what I was thinking. I need to snag a QB here. So this could potentially be a bit of a reach pick here. I think I'm going to head down and I'm going to snag Brock Purdy. I need a QB, and I don't know that he would have been available if I were to wait all the way to the eighth round. Think he's going to still put up a lot of points for San Fran. You know, he's on a high-powered offense, and he's going to be hopefully dumping the ball off to McCaffrey. So he should still be able to put up some serviceable numbers.
Yeah, I think that's a fine pick, totally serviceable,
Yeah.
especially when you kind of need the quarterback there. That spot really couldn't
hmm
put it off that much longer.
I kind of forgot about a quarterback. I feel like I'm so like accustomed to picking Josh Allen in every single draft. It's like, all right, I
Yeah.
snag him in the third round and then I don't even think about it. And now I'm like looking at my team and I'm like, I don't have a QB yet. So
Oops.
that was the play. All
Yeah, man,
right,
I
so we
don't
have
know.
we have Godwin here who was taken, then Mostert, Ridley, and Worthy right before your pick. So here's the question: would you have taken Worthy at this pick if he was
No,
available? No,
I don't like Worthy.
no,
I
definitely
don't
a
think
high
he should
risk
have been
play.
drafted in the first round. I think he's going to be like John Ross, who's just super fast,
Yeah,
but never can really produce. Like one of those guys
right.
who kind of like Henry Ruggs as well. If Henry Ruggs didn't like get into a,
hmm
drunk driving incident as well, someone
Right.
who's got that speed but doesn't have the route tree and doesn't have all of the other skills to put it together, like a
hmm
Devontae Adams or a Tyreek Hill. Like Xavier Worthy has a much bigger chance of becoming like the next John Ross than he does the Tyreek
Yeah.
Hill.
I would agree with that. It's also, I'm very concerned about him getting injured. He's super fragile. He's like 160
I
pounds. I
know.
mean, he's
He's a
like
little guy.
skinnier. He's skinnier than Devontae Smith, and Devontae is
Yeah.
super thin. So a little bit worried about his health, especially if he's getting tackled by, like a linebacker, a 250 pound linebacker. Can be a little bit concerning, but we'll see. Could be a nice pick for the CPU and Team 8 here. But yeah, what are you thinking here for your round seven pick?
Yeah, I just think it was way too soon on Xavier. I think Calvin Ridley was really good value there. But here I have to take a tight end, so I'm going to go Brock Bowers for
I love
sure.
that pick.
Although I
Dude,
would
I
not
love
have
that.
minded taking like an Njoku, but I am going to just take a little bit of a gamble and hopefully Brock Bowers turns into something akin to Sam
Yeah,
Laporta rather than Kyle Pitts, who I'm still
right.
not big on. Although he's super talented.
Agreed. Yeah. I was actually contemplating taking Bowers as a second tight end for a moment before I realized that I needed a
Huh,
quarterback badly. I
that would
was
have been
like,
wild, dude. You would
I
have
know,
been
I mean
stuck
that's not
fucking starring Drake May.
yeah, no, I know, but I was like Brock Bowers in the seventh feels like really good value for a player that could
Yeah.
turn into someone who's having a season like Laporta. So,
Damn, I
all
think
right.
almost Hollywood Brown right here is a great pick. I think Hollywood should have gone higher than Xavier.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see. You've already got three receivers, two running backs. Yeah. I think
We gotta go Javante Williams here, I think. Hopefully he has a bounce back
Javante?
year. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say I probably would have snagged Chubb if he was still available at your spot. I know that there's definitely still uncertainty surrounding him, but
Yeah.
you've already got like two solid running backs.
See,
So
Chubb
I
won't
would
be
have,
available until like week 5 at best, though. That's the issue with him.
yeah, that's true. But I still would have liked holding on to him because if he comes back, he could be humongous
I
for
mean, yeah,
Cleveland.
he could be, but I just
Yeah,
I want to go into the season like super healthy, like right off the gate, because
that's true.
always like battling health anyways, you know. So going in like with a man down just doesn't sound super appetizing to me.
Yeah, that's fair. We got Jordan Love as the top auto draft pick here. Obviously, just took a quarterback in the last one. Not going to do that again. Hollywood Brown could be a move here, wide receiver for Kansas City, except for the fact that I've already got Rashee Rice on my team. I don't want another Chiefs receiver. I don't want to put too much stock into
Yeah,
that. We've got Keon Coleman here. Been hearing a lot of good things about him, that Josh Allen might like him a lot. I'm slightly concerned though because I've got Dalton Kincaid already, and I've mentioned I don't want to dilute my team too much with players that stack or that they're on the same team. So because of that, gonna take a bit of a risky play here. I'm gonna snag Deontay Johnson for the Panthers. There's kind of been a lot
wow.
of excitement surrounding Bryce
No,
Young and his
I'm
improvements in the offseason.
surprised you didn't go
What
Keon Coleman there as a Bills fan.
I would have had I not taken Kincaid. I just don't like to
Yeah,
dilute my team with players generally from the same
yeah,
kind of
doubling
position.
up. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's a little bit different if it's a running back and receiver from the same team, but if you've got like a tight end and a receiver, that feels like a little bit too much of dilution there. So don't love that, but
it's
yeah,
fair.
I'm excited about Deontay Johnson. He should be, one of the top receivers for Carolina this year. I'm assuming
Yeah,
Adam Thielen will still be getting some of the balls, but hopefully Bryce Young and Deontay have a nice little connection and could be a nice pick. So after that, we have Jordan Love, Caleb Williams, DeAndre Hopkins, Jalen Warren, Christian Watson, and then Keon Coleman was taken. Um, let's see here.
they
We
want you to take
need
Hollywood.
I don't want Hollywood though. I've already got a Chiefs receiver. This is tough. I'd like another running back here, but like these options are not great. So I only have two running backs right now. Like I've got Pacheco and I've got Mixon. I don't want Jonathan Brooks. I wish I could have snagged like Eckler right here.
Yeah,
Like Eckler in the eighth could be like
that
humongous.
could
I know
be
he's on
really big.
Washington.
Yeah,
Like
almost.
he was my fourth pick in the draft last year. Like I had the fourth pick. He was the first
Yeah,
round
I know.
fourth pick. And
He
now he's
was
down in
so
the eighth.
bad. He
I know
just really, yeah, he could not run.
he was really bad. Dang, bro.
Trey
This
Benson,
is
throw a
tough.
little gamble out on Trey Benson or Tajay Spears available too.
Tajay is available, but like, do I want to put much stock in Tajay when they've got
Gus the
Pollard?
Bus. Wow.
This is where I'm kind of like at a struggle. All
Just
right, so
take
what
a
are you thinking
kicker.
right here? Like,
I
no, I'm not taking a kicker in the ninth
mean, if
here.
I was you, I understand not taking Hollywood. I would take
Yeah.
Jackson Smith and Jigbo, just like I think he's the best player available. So I would just yoink him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. That's actually probably a really good pick. Need a running back when it comes back around to me. Maybe then I'll be able to snag someone like Brian Robinson or I
Yeah.
don't know, Tajay down in the 10th. I guess that could be a decent pick then, but don't need any more wide receivers. But yeah, what are you thinking now for your pick here? I guess we had Hollywood, Goddard, Schultz, and Tua snag before you.
Yeah, we're down in the weeds here. I don't mind Jonathan Brooks here at all. I think he actually could end up being really solid. So I'm gonna take him even though he's
Hmm.
injured right now.
Yeah, there you go. Dude, Goff at the end of the ninth is actually a pretty
Yeah.
surgical
Because he
pick.
could be a starting quarterback week in, week out.
He could be. Oh, I just kind of forgot about Goff. I feel like it's wild that he falls down this far.
Yeah. Wow. Oh man, easy pick. Cole Kmet falling all the way down to the 10th. I mean, he was one of the best tight ends last year. I mean, he was probably like top five in terms of
Hmm.
production.
Double tight end for you?
Yeah. Oh, sh for sure. For sure.
Fair enough. We've got so you've got Benson, Edwards, Sutton, and Elliott. I actually was gonna snag Gus Edwards here. A little bit salty that I can't now. Um, I'm not super high on Zeke, to be honest with you. Cortland Sutton in the 10th isn't a bad pick. He was just good for a
No.
touchdown every single week last year, so that's a solid guy. We've got TJ Hawkinson here. Again, that was a guy who was a really solid tight end last year, probably top five before he got injured. Um, Not sure how much I love him now that he's on Minnesota. So I don't think I want to snag Hawkinson here, but definitely, I mean, in the 10th for Hawkinson is definitely a value play. I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna just snag. I need another running back. Um, I think Jerome Ford is
Okay.
gonna be the play here for me. He should be
Interesting.
this should be the starter for Cleveland. I mean, at least for the first few
Yeah.
weeks. Chubb's got uncertainty surrounding him because of the injury still, and he there's a chance that he doesn't fully recover from the injury. Of course, I wouldn't want
Yeah.
that
That's
for
actually a
him.
really good pick. Yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
so I like Jerome Ford there. After Ford was Hawkinson picked. That's definitely a solid pick there. Jaden Daniels, Blake Corum, Curtis Samuel, Chase Brown, and Romeo Dobbs. All right. Now we're getting into the time where the kickers are kind of the top options here.
Huh.
I don't need Justin Herbert, don't want Trevor and Freiermuth, not interested in him either. I'm just gonna get wild with it, man, and I'm gonna take Brandon Aubrey, Notre Dame
Interesting.
alum here,
Yeah.
as my kicker. Should
Not
I think
bad.
he'll be really solid for Dallas. I'm not sure if people will be playing in leagues where the kickers will lose points if they miss a field goal or extra point, but if you are, love the Aubrey pick because he
Yeah.
doesn't miss very often.
That's fair. I would definitely put the kicker on the back burner a little bit. I like the stream
Yeah,
kickers kind of week in, week out.
that's fair.
Like last year, I picked up Dustin Hopkins, and he ended up being like the
Yeah,
highest scoring kicker in the entire season. So
that's
it's
true.
definitely not a priority of mine right now. I
Yeah,
really like, man, Khalil Shakir could be a solid play right here. This is where you gotta stay in the game. You gotta keep your head on straight, even though you're in the weeds
yeah,
here, you're down. It gets a little muddled, but some of these
hmm
picks can be very impactful, very integral
yeah.
for the remainder of the season. I mean, J.K. Dobbins down here, Jerry Judy, they could be all right, It
Even
could,
Jacoby
yeah,
Myers, man. Jacoby
that's
Myers
true.
was
Yeah,
like a wide receiver two for a good portion of last year. And now he's getting drafted
yeah.
down in like the 11th or the 12th.
That's a good point, but I'm going to take Shakir. I think that he has shown a lot of promise over the last year with Stephon Diggs leaving. I mean, he could step into that number one role. I mean, he might not want to let Keon Coleman take it from him. So
Yeah,
I'm going to take a little bit of a flyer on that one.
I like it.
Yeah, Justin Tucker, Donnie Mitchell, not really bought into Indianapolis passing game right away.
Hmm.
Musgrave, I mean, there's some solid picks, some good value. I don't really care for Charbonnet with Kenneth Walker as long as he's still healthy.
Right.
Man,
Aaron
so what do I
Rodgers in
do
the
here?
11th turning 12.
I think there's good value there.
Yeah, for sure.
You want to take the
49ers
first
defense.
defense off the board here. Yeah. Defenses
Okay,
are
big
important.
guy.
If your league needs a defense, it's best to just have one you don't have to worry about. Just plug and play,
Hmm.
let cook.
Yeah.
When the buy comes around, pick up somebody, make a good decision, and
Hmm.
then just go right back to the formula.
Yeah.
I mean, and you
There
could
you
say that
go.
about a kicker too, but I feel like a kicker's a lot less predictable than like a defense. So you might as well just
Hmm.
commit to something with a defense that you know is going to ride it out. Whereas a kicker, you can kind of be okay by streaming it.
Right. Yeah, that's totally fair. Um, All right, so after your defense, you've got Rico Dowdle, Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers in the 12th is an awesome pick. I
Yeah.
love that. J.K. Dobbins and Chuba Hubbard. Now I got to figure out who I'm going to pick here. So I've already got like five wide receivers. I really wouldn't need another one, but I feel like it's just kind of best player available at this point. Don't love Jerry Jeudy. He hasn't been just all that great in the past. Um, doesn't seem to ever live up to the hype around who he was supposed to be. So I'm going to pass on him. Don't love Joshua Palmer. Honestly, don't even know who Xavier Legette is.
He's
Um,
solid. He's gonna be good. I think that's a solid
yeah,
pick. Yeah, I think he's actually gonna be
actually,
good. Yeah.
I already have Deontay Johnson, so I'm not going to
Yeah.
dilute my
I would
team
stay
with
away
another
as
Panthers
the
guy.
position you're in, but I think he'll be all
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Um, Probably gonna do something maybe I shouldn't do, but I'm gonna snag Mike Williams. He was always really solid on the
Yeah.
Chargers, dealt with
Right.
a really tough injury, and I don't know. I mean, if he comes back and he can be healthy, he could be a humongous play, especially because I mean he could easily turn into their wide receiver two behind Garrett Wilson. Just it's just contingent on him being nice and healthy.
Yeah.
We got
I
a
like
couple
that a
more
lot.
kickers. Yeah, a couple more kickers taken after him, then Judy, Mayfield, Palmer, Stafford, and now I need another pick here.
You might have to go for a QB at this point
A double QB.
or a defense.
Hmm. Defense could be the move. Um, I kind of like the Texans defense this year, bro.
Whoa.
But what?
Interesting. Could
You
be
don't like the
good. Could be
Texans
good.
defense?
I mean, I think it could be good, but if you're going to draft a defense, like it's got to be like one of the top three. I don't think the Texans are going to end up as a top three defense.
That's fair.
They're
All
going to
right.
have a tough schedule as it is. I mean, I know the Niners will,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
they're
I'm
going to have to face
actually,
the Chiefs and the Bills and the
yeah,
Ravens. So
I'm gonna
those
heed
weeks you
your
kind of cooked.
I'm gonna heed your original advice then. QB.
Yeah.
Let's go QB. Gonna snag Kirk. Let's see.
Okay. Fair enough.
I mean, he could have a better year than Brock. It could be crazy. I wouldn't expect that, but it's possible. So maybe a little
Mm,
backup QB
it's very
action.
possible. Yeah. All right, here am I. What do I do? Couple more, yeah.
Would you have
Kaimi.
snagged Leggett if he was there for you?
I don't know about, yeah, that would have been like my fifth wide receiver, so I probably would have stayed away, but I do like him. I like Rashid Shaheed in this spot as well.
Hmm.
I feel like I need to snag a quarterback though, which there aren't too
Yeah,
many great options still on the table, unfortunately.
I know. We're
Oh,
really getting
Derek
down into
Carr
the
down
weeds.
here? Yeah, give me Derek Carr all day.
Oh, that's your boy, dude. You're
Come
so hot on the
on.
Saints. You gotta snag him.
Just wait. Just watch the Saints go off this year. No
You
one's
are much
believing
more
them. And
optimistic than I am, bro.
yeah, I mean, you're not alone. Everyone that I listen to is down on the Saints as well, and it's really hurtful.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe it's time to take a kicker.
Time for a kicker.
It might be.
You can
Let's
still
see
snag a
here.
nice kicker
I
here.
could. Yeah. Oh, Daniel Carlson, you naughty dog.
Whoa.
Oh, Will Reichard. This is, yeah. Will Reichard. Hell yeah. Rookie kicker. Gonna be on a
He's your
team that's
boy.
not gonna score too many touchdowns. Sleeper pick right there in terms of
Could
kicker. Yeah.
could be surgical, bro. I think I probably would have gone with Elliott just because the Eagles. No?
He had like last year he did have a decent year, but usually Elliott's not great in terms of kickers, in terms of production.
Yeah, that's fair. Um, I'm gonna make another pick here. Honestly, surprised that this guy fell so low. Look at Taysom Hill here, bro. In the
Yeah.
14th round. I mean,
As a tight end, yeah.
there are some times, like I've only got one tight end, it's Kincaid. There are times when Taysom Hill has been like the number three tight end in the league for like,
Yeah.
over the span of like 8 weeks. I mean, It could be a phenomenal play.
Especially
He's
if he
just,
starts a game as a quarterback if Derek Carr goes
yeah.
down. I mean, Spencer Rattler or Jake Haener would probably slide in, but he could still
Mhm.
get some like throwing reps. He could still get some pass TDs in there.
That's true. You're absolutely right. Um, all right. Well, the only team or the only thing I'm missing right now is a defense. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna snag the Texans defense,
There
bro.
you
I
go.
want
See,
them
you
as my
waited a
last
couple
pick.
rounds and you still got them.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. And now
Wow, all
this
the
last round is
defenses are
all the
going.
defenses.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm like set. Like, what do I do? Josh down. No, Cade Otton, Dontavian Wicks. Not bad, not bad. Some solid options here. I feel like I should take Jaleel McLaughlin as a backup to Javante, perhaps.
There you go.
Or
That could work.
actually, Ray Davis, backup to James Cook.
Oh,
Yes,
dude,
that's what I like.
the handcuff is always a nice component to snag
Yeah.
if you're not sure on a pick. Snag the handcuff for your running back in case they get injured.
Plus, he's a rookie, so he's going to be nice and fresh.
Yeah, for sure.
So I kind of like want to create like a league out of this team. Like, I
Yeah,
like my draft a lot here.
it's a nice draft, bro. It was nice.
Yeah, I think
Let's
we both ended up pretty solid.
here we go. Let's see if we can look at our whole team at once here. Um, all right, I guess it looks like we can get the full thing here.
Yeah.
All right. I'm trying to just look at the other teams real quick, see who, like, let's see if we can identify one of the computers that seem to draft like a
Well,
mighty
team
surgical
two
team.
ended up with two rookie QBs, so I don't love that. Man, team two
Bro,
is looking scant.
team eight has six running backs in a
Huh.
two running back league.
Wow. They only
That's
have,
absurd.
yeah.
Their wide
I feel like
receivers
team
are
five could be
struggling.
kind of dangerous. Team five, although their receivers are pretty weak.
I don't love the RB2 in Ramondre, though.
Yeah.
It feels like most of those receivers are just like kind of flex plays.
I feel like we ended up with the best teams.
I
We
mean, we should.
bested
We're
the AI.
I mean, I would hope so. The AI was just picking like the top player at every position pretty much, or the top ADP.
Yeah.
Um, Interesting. Dude, I really like Team 3. Team 3 could actually go crazy this year.
Yeah, they waited on a quarterback. I think, yeah, they got some good quarterback options. Team three, yeah, I mean, Drake London could be a
Drake
little
London
weak
could
at
be
RB,
nice.
but
Like
I
Josh
do like, yeah,
Jacobs though,
team three.
we were both like we said Josh Jacobs we were pretty high on. And
Yeah.
Pollard down in the seventh, like he could be nice, bro.
Yeah, no, I
Could be.
mean, team three, you and I on paper look the best.
Yeah. Um, it's kind of difficult for me to look through every single team and every single pick. So if anyone in the comments is looking through this, wants to do a deeper dive, I
Yeah.
don't know, maybe a sort of grade on whose team you think is the best, feel free to let us
Yeah.
know. And yeah, anything that we missed as well,
Team
feel free to
11
point that
just
out.
ripping off four straight or four straight receivers
Yeah,
and then not
that's
taking an
no,
RB till like the sixth round down there. Jeez.
it's a crazy draft strategy. Swift in the sixth, not a bad pick,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
don't
I
love the
think
RB2.
they're okay. He could be all
Yeah.
right, but the receivers they took aren't even that. Yeah, I'm not huge on Team 11, but
Yeah.
there's potential out there. Team 10, I mean, ETN, AJ Brown, Mahomes can't really go wrong there.
Yeah, but Pittman don't love as my wide receiver too, to be honest.
No, no, not with Anthony,
And not
unfortunately.
Pitts,
Still
bro.
being
I
an
wouldn't.
unknown.
Pitts
Yeah,
is
Pitts
still
is
just
high.
super high risk.
Yeah, until he like fully explodes and breaks out, I'm not trusting him. Not taking the gamble on him anymore.
Yeah. So here's another thing too. You took Javonte Williams in the eighth round here. This is gonna seem crazy to you. We in our 14 team league, Javonte was not drafted. However, we only drafted to round 10.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I wonder, has he still on waivers or has someone snabbed
I
him?
I I picked him up from the waivers. Yeah.
Great move. I
Yeah,
think,
thank you.
I mean, he's the number one running back. He should be fully healthy now after
Yeah.
resting all of last season, pretty much. Like,
Hmm.
I don't think it's a bad play. I mean, Sean Payton's not going to want to have Bo Nix just slinging it all day. They're going to want to be more balanced.
Agreed.
You know, Sean
Yeah,
Payton's not going to put it all on Bo to just start his career off. So I think Javante, yeah, I mean, if you're getting him off the waivers, that is tremendous value.
I agree. Yeah. I think our commissioner, the way they went about it was they auto drafted everyone's team for the remaining like 5 or 6 rounds or whatever. And I think everyone already had like the maximum number of RBs or like
Yeah.
3 RBs or whatever. And so auto pick just picked other people
Wow.
besides Javante. So
What an
that's how I was able
interesting
to.
dynamic.
I know it was crazy. So I was shocked that he was still on the waivers
Yeah.
for that. But yeah, definitely glad I snagged him.
Yeah, good move there for sure.
Thanks, man.
All right. Well, mock draft concluded. Looking
Yeah,
good. We're prepared. We're ready now for our big money leagues.
yeah. We got our drafts coming up this weekend, so very
Yeah.
excited about those.
Yeah, very excited about that for sure. We want to rip into a couple best bets for college football this week. I'll
Yeah,
muster up here
dude.
off the fly.
Deliver them to me. I'm excited to hear them. Oh, I
Open
gotta
wide,
tell,
let me feed you.
dude, I'm so ready for them. In fact, I gotta share to all of our listeners the app Fliff, which is legal in Houston and allows
Yeah.
me to bet. It's so nice.
Damn, I want them to like sponsor us.
I know they totally should, but
I've never
yeah,
seen them
guys,
sponsored in a video or like promoted in a video, so maybe they're looking. Maybe they're on the prowl for some potential suitors.
dude, it's possible. Yeah, I'd never even heard of the platform before until one of my buddies from California is like, yeah, that's how I bet in Cali is I just use this app
Yeah.
Fliff.
It's still crazy to me that California and Texas both don't allow online betting. Just wild to me since both
I
states are
know.
so drastically different
I know.
structurally, politically.
I'm hoping they'll change that soon because I'd like to get access to my FanDuel
Yeah.
account again.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, until then, I'm just going to use
Hmm.
Fliff. The account gives you $1 a day unless you or if you're under $5, and then it's literally free money. Like you don't even have to deposit any of your own, and then you can still place the bets on normal lines and get rewarded for it. The only downside is you can't cash out till you're above $50, but even still, it's all free.
Yeah, say less. It's
Yeah.
a pretty good gig right there.
I would agree. So how are your best bets coming along here? Have you cooked up some surgical ones?
I'm gonna go with UCF minus 40 and a half against New Hampshire. I
40
think
and a half?
UCF, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of matchups like that this week. I mean, if you look at
Wow.
a couple of them here, let me give you one. I mean, they're mostly on the weekend. I'm just going to do Thursday games just because I don't like
Hmm.
betting that much far in advance. And maybe I'll do a short later on in the week. But I'm going
Yeah.
to take definitely UCF minus 40 and a half against New Hampshire there. I think they're just so offensively
Hmm.
capable. And New Hampshire, it's New Hampshire, right?
Yeah.
There isn't a whole lot else to get after on Thursday, unfortunately. Not too many like big marquee matchups, and some of the spreads haven't fully come out yet. Let's push it to Friday. Is there anything on Friday? Wisconsin, Maine plus 1.5. Possible. Florida Atlantic, Michigan State, Army, Stanford. I just don't have a good grasp on some of these just rando colleges at the moment. Huh.
That's fair.
Let's rip North Carolina minus 2 at Minnesota. We'll do
Hmm.
that one.
I like it. You're gonna have to deliver an actual bet though for the Notre Dame game. I know you said you bet on A&M, but what's your actual read on the game? Like, do you truly think that A&M is going to win this game?
I if I like was objective, I probably would do A&M still. Yeah, I probably would, unfortunately, just because of the offensive line issues with Notre Dame, their first game. I would probably go for the under though. Like although the unders already been bet down 3 points, I would probably still take an under 46.5 in the
Hmm.
Texas A&M Notre Dame game. So don't like force me to take a side. I'll just take the under.
Fair enough.
Let's also do Georgia minus 13.5 against Clemson. I know that's on Saturday. There's
Hmm.
some good, there are a lot better bets on Saturday, so maybe I'll feel inclined to do a little short Friday evening like I used to
That would
do
be
back in
sweet.
the day. Get the
Yeah, I would
groove
love
going,
that.
pull out the old hat, the
Hmm.
sorcerer hat.
That'd be awesome, bro.
Yeah, so those are like my bets for now, but perhaps more to come.
So what game are you looking forward to most aside from the Notre Dame A&M game?
I would love to see Clemson get their teeth kicked in against Georgia. That would be fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Penn State at West Virginia. That should be a pretty good
Hmm.
game. Miami
Nice.
at Florida. Those like these are the games with like tight spreads that should be like just
Yeah.
enjoyable, fun to watch for any football fan.
Hmm.
Considering I'm going to be at work until like 7 on Saturday, I'll just hopefully get out just in time for that Notre Dame Texas A&M game.
Are you going to be going out to any bars to watch the games or like
No,
Buffalo
I
Wild
would
Wings
like
or
to just
anything?
kind of watch it with my parents at home.
I got you. Not a bad idea.
Yeah. Sunday though has a really good game, a barn burner. USC at or not at LSU. It's a neutral site game in Vegas, but USC
Hmm.
LSU, another really good game and on Sunday now. So it's just kind of by itself. So you don't have all the other options of games to watch. You can kind of dial in on that one.
Yeah, I got you.
But yeah, no, it's a good week to get after it. Some solid openers to the season, some nice out of
Hmm.
conference action.
Yeah, very exciting. College football is finally upon us, and the week after is actual NFL games. So
Yeah.
very excited to get into our usual routine of things again. Starting up next week, we'll make our week one picks and predictions and record another episode about it.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to have a weekend without football until like February now,
It's
so
crazy
should
to
be
think
we
about.
should be in the go zone.
Dude, I love the go zone. That's where you always want to be.
Yes, sir. Now that stuck in the mud like we have been all summer just watching fucking baseball.
Exactly. Or the gymnastics or the break dancers in the Olympics.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you as always for watching. Really appreciate it. Let us know how you thought we did on our mock draft. And yeah, enjoy the football this weekend.
Yep.
We will
See you
see you
all
next
next
week.
time.
Yep.